Excuse me.
Hey everybody, welcome back.
Yes.
We have a lot of fun for you today. I have brought my color wheel.
It's so cool, look at it.
Isn't that beautiful?
Obsessed.
Every color, and it's going to come in handy as we cover tattoos today, but it also accounts for covering bruises if you have a bruise that you really need to cover.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do is 3 things. It's going to be a blast. The first one is a challenge that's been aimed at me. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use household products and lip products to cover the tattoo.
Yes, things you can find around the house.
So think cornstarch. Okay? We have no idea how this is going to turn out. We're keeping it super minimal, all right? So then the second thing we're going to do is we went on an Ulta haul.
Yes, we did shopping vlog with Gina. So much fun.
Yes. So what we did is we actually went to the more drugstore side.
Yeah. And
we picked things, what would you say, like maybe $10?
Yeah, pretty affordable stuff.
Okay.
You can find not only at Ulta, but like at your local drugstore, like Target, like Walgreens, places like that.
We wanted to make it so that if you needed to cover a tattoo or a bruise, because bruises are more temporary, you could not spend a lot of money, but get the same thing accomplished.
Absolutely.
We do have some affordable brushes at that level that we're going to talk about as well. And then the third one is the more like bougie. We're going to do a little bit higher product, but nice brushes. But I think you're going to find that each level we're going to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So it'll be a lot of fun. What do you think?
I'm so excited. Let's get started.
Let's get
I've never covered my tattoos before, you guys, so this is going to be such an adventure for the both of us, and I'm excited.
Let's do this. All right, so for this first challenge, we're going to be working on Tab's Beautiful Mom. And we'll be working in thirds because we have the 3 different challenges. But I want to show you the color wheel. Now, Tab's tattoos have a little bit of a bluey green. So if you look kind of on the blue-green here, opposite is a red-orange. So anything on this side of the color wheel will help cancel that out. So for the first challenge, what we're actually going to do is I have a NYX lip liner and I have a Rimmel lipstick. So if around the house, your mom, your grandma, your aunt, someone has these things, it should be easy to find. Yes. And then we're actually going to set it with a little baby powder and one little section with a little cornstarch.
Yes, so things you can find around the house, you guys.
We have no bruises to work on today. So
we're going to cover the tattoo.
We're going to cover the tattoo. Now this is going to be the challenge because what we're doing is you're just going to cover it up, and we're not going to do the whole thing. We're going to do a section because we have 3 challenges.
Yeah, we have 3 different methods that we're going to use.
So now, of course, see when we get on his skin,
so fun.
It's more color.
Yeah, it's more pigmented because you're not going over a really dark colored area of the tattoo.
So the challenge on this, and I'm not going to tell you that this isn't going to be the harder way to do it, is the blend. So when you move into a more a lighter part of the tattoo,
it's going to be easier.
You're going to use less product.
Yeah, it's covering pretty good so far on the areas that's not super dark, but like the dark areas, you're probably going to have to go in with a little bit more of the pencil and lipstick.
Okay, I'm totally done.
What do you guys think?
What do you think? Isn't that gorgeous?
Mission accomplished.
Nailed it. So basically, when you're doing something like this is clearly step 1 in the process.
Yeah. You're color correcting it right now.
I'm color correcting at the moment. I do like to use my fingers, so this isn't just part of the challenge. You warm product when you use your hand. I'm pushing, again, you probably heard that from me 1,000 times, but it's the truth.
Pushing color, guys.
Pushing color, because it puts this color where you want it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do here...
We're going to go on top of this.
Yeah. We're going to set it, first time ever in my life, with some cornstarch.
Cornstarch, you guys.
We thought, why not, right? I mean...
We're baking in this video, a different type of baking.
We're making gravy. So I'm using a really cheap sponge, so you probably could use your hands, or you could use a Kleenex. I probably wouldn't use a paper towel, it's a little too rough.
Yeah.
But a Kleenex would work. So you do want to set it.
To lock in this color correctly.
If anybody has ever seen the tiles in your kitchen, there's grout.
Yeah.
The grout is what creates the grip. Like when you lay tiles, they kind of make a rough surface. This is the same thing. When I go back over this, we're just going straight to foundation after this, because remember, we're only working with the bare minimum.
Yeah. If you didn't set it with powder, it probably, putting the foundation on top of it, it would have just
mixed right into it.
Yeah, and it would take away the coverage that you're color correcting right now. So you want to lock in this.
You'll have peach. You're going to end up with another shade of orange. So I was kind of generous. Cornstarch. How about that? Well, you know, my grandma used to use cornstarch when they changed the baby's diapers, so I thought, what's the worst thing that can happen, right?
It looks pretty good so far.
Yeah.
It is locking in that color.
I'm just going to test this. I just want to see what happens with the cornstarch if I add a little bit more lipstick. It looks like it's kind of pulling
It off.
Yeah, and it's also pooling like the powder.
Oh.
So I'm going to take a little bit of baby powder, because why not?
Now we're going to test some baby powder, you guys. It smells good.
Right? You smell just as fresh as a baby's butt. Good job. So the other thing is to remember that you're going to have to blend a distance out from the tattoo. And this is the greater challenge because I have nothing in the middle. So we have no idea. This might be an epic fail. Thanks for joining us. I'm just going to take a full coverage foundation.
Yeah, so just take your normal foundation for this part to go on top of the color correcting.
And again, since I've never used cornstarch before, I might end up with a foundation colored gravy for all I know. I do like to stipple because we have something creamy down, and then we have powder down, and now we're going back to something creamy.
Yeah.
The less you mess, the better your result. Okay, guys? So
it's looking so crazy so far. And I feel like your fingers, like you said, your fingers honestly are the best blending tool when it comes to makeup. I know a lot of people are comfortable with using brushes and stuff, but I mean, look at the result that this is doing with just your finger.
So see how it's wanting to pull the pink up?
Yeah, in certain areas.
In certain areas. So I'm going to switch to a dry finger. It's like a clean brush.
Yeah.
There's no adulteration on this finger. When we talk about foundation, this is one of those situations where you probably could get away with using a foundation that's just a little lighter than your skin tone. I'm going to show you how the sponge kind of blends the edge. Because once you get the color correct on, just leave it alone. The more you touch it, the more the color will shift. All right, so as we're looking at this, you can see that the tattoo has disappeared, but the raised scar is still visible. So the tattoo's covered, but the texture is very difficult to cover. And so I'm going to let this sit because I want to see how that product works. I don't want to touch it for right now. I want it to sit. So that is test one. That is with literally, right? A lip liner, a lipstick, and cornstarch.
And we use a little bit of baby powder on one of the areas.
Because why not?
That's amazing, you guys.
So we took a little bit of a break, and we let this sit. So as you can see, it still looks kind of shiny to the camera.
Yeah.
Taking a little cornstarch. Remember, do not overwork. Trust me. If you see any color lift, just stop.
Because if you keep working it, you're going to pull all the work you just did.
It'll literally lift right off in a solid. It's really frustrating. Don't do that. I've been there. I've done that.
So we're essentially kind of just like what we would do with our makeup, setting our makeup.
You are baking.
Baking, girl.
Baking, girl.
Bake that tattoo.
With your cornstarch. Hey, I'm kind of digging this cornstarch. I'm not going to lie. When I told you guys I wanted to use cornstarch, I was kind of half joking. And then you guys were like, yeah, great idea. And I'm like, oh, I hope this works. I'm literally going to let that bake. I'm not even going to touch it anymore.
Let it sit.
Now, challenge number 2.
So challenge number 2, we're moving on to the drugstore products to help cover up another portion of the tattoo.
We thought it would be good to have a range, not to get too dark.
Yeah.
Also, I love to use my hands. Like Tav said, it's a great tool, but we are going to start introducing some synthetic brushes.
Yeah.
And where are these from, Tav?
The purple and the orange are Real Techniques. You can find that at Ulta, Drugstore, Walmart. And then this pink one with the rose gold handle is Peach and Pearl, and I will link them down below.
Okay, so here's the thing. We haven't played with this either. This is totally us just giving NYX a shot.
Ooh.
Okay, so this looks more orange than it is.
It's definitely like turning like a light concealer.
Yeah. So let's try the darker Tav colored concealer. And let's see how this works.
That's kind of, they're mixing kind of like an orangey color
They
together.
kind of are. I'm going to take the flat Peaches and Pearl blush. Blush. I'm going to take the flat Peaches and Pearl brush. Just so you can see the density difference. So to defend my red-orange, in this palette, this side is warm or more red, and this side is cool or more yellow. So I'm exclusively working on the warm side right now.
Okay.
So the color corrector and then the darker concealer. And density-wise, the brush really
Are you liking the brush with it?
Yes. When I use a red though, like a lipstick, I don't want to use the brush.
Yeah.
I need to have control over that color. This is actually, look how close that is to your skin tone.
That literally could be a foundation.
It could literally be. Hey, there's another thought.
Exactly, using concealer as a foundation. If you can't find your perfect match.
And this is great for people like me. We talked about a couple videos ago, not being able to be the perfect match. This has cool and warm, and if you have a good moisturizer, you can actually create a foundation. So that's a little off-topic conversation there.
But that coverage is really nice. I mean, it's insane. We picked a tattoo with a lot of like darkness in it, you guys. These results, it's really good.
We're kind of impressed. What we've done here is you've seen the actual specific color theory.
Yeah.
So we talked about the red being opposite the green. But when you talk about bruises, this is a different conversation because I just recently slammed my toe with a chair and it was legitimately black.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they got that dark. So it would be technically probably on the violet side with black in it. It was like that. But here's the thing. You have an evolution with a bruise. It starts out on the blue side. And basically, if you look at this color wheel, this is what a bruise does. It kind of toggles.
Between the colors.
Yeah, so it kind of starts out violet and blue. Red comes in later, but it does end up in this green and in the yellow.
Yeah.
You know, so it
So
kind of
the
goes
bruise
down.
is going to be a little bit more work covering it as opposed to tattoo.
So depending on the evolution of your bruise.
Yeah, depending on what, like where
Stage.
you are. Yeah, what stage. On what color the bruise is.
Yeah, so if it's violet, you're going to want to use...
A yellow concealer.
Sorry, you're going to want to use this cooler side. But the further that it goes through its evolution, when it's at the green stage, then you can use that lip liner or that lipstick. But when it starts to get yellow, then you actually need to get something that gets a little bit more. It doesn't have to be purple like that. It could be a lavender lipstick, actually.
Yeah.
That would work.
Yeah.
You know,
all
so
those crazy color lipsticks, that would be perfect to use.
Those would actually be really good color correctors because they come in green and blue.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
But just remember, whenever you're working with a color with a lot of depth, you actually need to make sure that you're maybe blending it with your finger so you have control. Okay, so sorry, Mom.
She has one eye left.
Bye, Mom.
My mom's gonna be like, I thought you had a tattoo. I'm gonna send her a selfie after we're
You'd be
done.
like, bye. I woke up, it was gone.
Okay, so we're gonna set it with this powder. This is a RCMA no color powder.
Yeah, it's kind of like an invisible set.
Yes.
So it's a no color powder. So even though Tab has deeper skin tone, so instead of a sponge, we're going to
Use
switch
a brush.
to a brush. Stipple, 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 same principle.
It's like snow.
Bob Ross, bigger, 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 bigger. I've been waiting to do that for weeks. See, now what I'm noticing about the cornstarch, this is the interesting thing. The color cover was pretty good, but this cornstarch grabbed because it's actually a thickener.
Yeah.
So maybe the baby powder would be a better option. Do you see it?
I'm definitely seeing that, yeah.
And another thought before we move on to the third and the last is if you're covering a tattoo on, let's say, your hand or your foot, hydrate, but not like totally slippery, chicken greasy, okay? So because those areas, or like even your neck, there's a lot of texture to that part of the skin. Make sure that skin is exfoliated and then hydrated so that the makeup isn't picking up extra texture on top of the tattoo.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We're gonna test this product a little further on top of the powder because it looks like you can still kind of see it.
It's kind of coming through. You guys can see like the green in the tattoo a little bit.
And that's because we don't have the direct opposite. We're dealing within our color range.
Yeah.
So let's give this a shot.
That's definitely looking way better.
Okay.
So maybe layering it.
Yeah, so a little bit of powder between actually allows you, like I said with the tiling example, gives the concealer something to grab onto so it doesn't want to shift quite as much. Because you can't just layer a creamy product. It'll just go everywhere. You know what I mean? If you work it too much, the product's going to come right back off. We call that lift, where you like touch it with the brush, and then when you lift the brush, the product comes back
all your work
with you.
just comes back right off.
That's starting to happen right here on the edge. You can see it.
Yeah.
It's like if I touch that one more time, it's going to get all mad about it. So that's test number 2. I'm just going to add another amount of powder. Powder is really the thing to make it stay so it doesn't slide, especially if it's a warm day. We're not going to worry about dusting it off because we want it to absorb. Cornstarch is a thickener, which I didn't think through. This was for fun to see what household products would work. We're going to go back. We'll revisit that. Okay.
So there's method 2. Still, the results, you guys, it's insane. I'm really, really impressed. So now we're going to move on to
step 3. All right, sweet. We are back with
This is round 3, you guys. This is Dermablend. Okay, so this is the high end. The bougie side.
This is the bougie side. So we actually are going to switch up to a MAC brush. I'm going to use my hand as a palette. We are taking what I know about covering tattoos and using products I've never touched before. All right, so here we are with Dermablend.
This should be like super full coverage.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is a one-shot product.
Yes.
This says it's 12 hours.
We're not even color correcting. We're just going straight on with this, and this
Straight on.
should completely cover it.
That's what it said if we picked the right color.
Let's see, you guys.
Let's see. You know what? Have you been tanning?
I have.
Oh! Dude, seriously, you were a different color.
It's like 5 hours of tanning.
Look, Scary Spice. She's afraid of me.
I referenced in my Q&A, you guys, I have Spice Girls on my back. You guys can kind of see them.
Oh, there's Ginger and
Sporty.
Sporty.
Posh.
Yes.
Girl power, you guys. I'm obsessed with the Spice Girls, I told you guys. They're everything.
So, to my defense, this matched last time we shopped.
It really did.
Dude, you are so much darker. I did not realize how much darker you got. Tab cheated.
But the coverage is amazing, you guys. Look at this. We didn't color correct underneath it, and it's completely covering it. It's extremely full coverage.
Dermablend was actually designed to cover heavy birthmarks.
Oh.
So it's like the go-to product for coverage. So if you have a birthmark or bruising or tattoos, this is a 12-hour wear is what the package said.
That is some pretty good coverage.
And quick.
Yeah.
So aside from the fact
The wrong color.
You cheated and got a tan. So if
we almost picked your color.
I know. Well, no. Only in my dreams. I'm never going to be that color. I can't work that hard. So technically, with the Dermablend, if you don't change color, you're supposed to be able to just put it on and powder it. And technically, if we're not talking color, we're only talking coverage. The coverage on that is ridiculous.
That's so full coverage.
It really is.
It's like almost like a foundation. Okay, so we're using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation in the shade Y445.
So why we're using that is it's probably closer to his actual skin tone right now. And it's a bit more yellow. So let's see how this works. Again, I don't touch these products, so what do I know?
I love that foundation.
We say that every week. And we're not even using the same foundation every week. He's an unfaithful foundation guy. So there's your HD on top of.
I like that.
And then what we're going to use to set this one is just
some banana powder. This is Bright Set from Sephora.
We just thought it'd be fun to try yellow. We figured if we're going to experiment, why not experiment with everything?
Absolutely.
All right, so while we're on this topic, that's why this gravy of cornstarch and foundation looks like it does.
Yeah, it's kind of like patchy now.
Because I didn't think through. Cornstarch is a thickener, like if the cook side of me had been arguing with the makeup side of me. Now, we're going to go back to this first one because that gravy is just really irritating me. Yeah,
you guys can see that. It's kind of like splotchy, patchy.
So we're working together to see what happens when it goes terribly wrong. So this is whatever foundation or concealer you have around the house. It's anywhere close to your color.
Yeah.
So that didn't work too bad.
So just for fun, we're going to work with the Anastasia Lip Palette.
We're going to work primary colors just for hoots and giggles.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take pure red, just a tiny bit. But I'm going to make an orange. I'm going to add a little yellow to it. It's going to be really bright. Let's take a little white. What do we feel about that? And it's also muting that like intense fire engine red.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just go over it with your foundation.
Okay.
And this is back to your HD.
The Makeup Forever foundation.
That was just a little extra fun. I just wanted to see. There you go. Let's spritz it and see what we think. You know, one time I literally was paid to cover a tattoo for a girl who was going to, I think, a wedding. She was like, oh, my grandma doesn't know I have a tattoo. I was like, girl, your grandma knows you have a tattoo. People think grandmas don't know. Grandmas know. Mom is a why. Hey, look, we created a letter. Why? Why? Why did you cover my face, son?
I love it.
What do you think are the most challenging tattoos?
I don't know, maybe something that's more prominent, like a neck tattoo, face tattoo, finger tattoos.
So don't you think it'd be hard to get a job with a neck tattoo?
Oh my god, it would be hard to do that. It would be hard to cover it, and let alone my mom would kill me if I got a neck tattoo, so. But I'm
we covered her eyes
with this result.
So now you can get one because you covered her eyes. So cool. How do we feel about this tattoo
Oh my
cover?
god, this looks so good. Now that I know you can cover tattoos, I'm gonna get a neck tattoo.
You totally should. What do you think you want to get a tattoo
I
of?
don't know.
I think you seem like the kind of person, I know you have this really cool snow globe of
Yeah.
butterflies.
Oh
What do you
my
think
God.
about butterflies?
I love butterflies. That would be so cute.
That would be totally cute. I think you should do it.
Yeah.
I can cover it when you see your mom. It'll be fine.
Right?
Yeah.
Alright, you guys, so much fun. That was definitely an adventure.
Totally an adventure.
I
Cornstarch, hello.
I never thought I'd ever be able to see the day where my tattoos would be completely covered. So Gina, you did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know, we thought it would be a fun adventure because, you know, sometimes people just need to do it one time. So
Absolutely.
what are our solutions?
I mean, I kind of wish I had a bruise so you guys can see, but I feel like the theory, carries over whether it is a tattoo or a bruise. So hopefully our tips helped you guys to cover either one of those two if you really wanted to.
And during the videos, you notice I did talk about color, even though
Yeah.
Tav's tattoo are uniform in color.
Yeah.
A lot of people have color tattoos, so you can still use the same theory. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate your love and support. And until next time, take care.
Excuse me.
I know we did. Start over. We lost him in the ditch.
No, that might be fun. I'll put that at the end. I like that.
We always have some kind of a blooper. I'm all, so dumb. You watching our videos and we look forward to... I'm being a good kid. It's his fault. We should leave it in because it's different. Nobody else is doing it. All right. Are we ready?
I think so. Okay.